All right. We're gonna make a car. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what we're gonna do. How we're like what we're gonna do. You want to do what? This is for STEM, right? For your class, right? Which STEM is
Some
science.
science, and um, putting things together.
Putting things together. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's also math, right? Technology, right? Engineering, right? Sometimes it's STEAM. You know what STEAM is? Has art in there as well, right? So we're going to do a project together. And so you want to put something together. What do you want to put together? Can you show us what you had and what you're thinking about?
I had little tiny wheels and it didn't work.
Yeah, but what were you making? Tell us first. Explain to everybody what you were going to make.
A car.
A car. And what were you going to make the car out of? Hold it up so people can see. So, and what is that?
A toilet paper roll.
And then you'd made some wheels out of cardboard, and Mom helped you poke some holes through those, and you're going to use some brads. So that kind of became like a prototype, right? Right. That was kind of our first attempt at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to take this now, and we're going to use a computer modeling program, right? Which is used by a lot of people, like people in math and engineering, and sometimes in art. Right, so we're going to use a computer program, and we'll make the car like for real, like we'll 3D print it. How's that sound?
Good.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to we're using this program called Rhino, and it'll let us take the some different shapes, right? And you're learning about shapes right now. We were just cutting out some shapes earlier, right? Or you had some foam shapes. Okay, so what do you think? What's the shape of this? If we took this and we held, it's a cylinder, right? It's a cylinder. So, but we could also start. What's the original shape of the cylinder? What do you start with?
Circle.
A circle, right? So this program,
circles stacked up.
yeah, circles stacked up. It's kind of like a circle here and then a circle at the end, right? So we can do this cool thing in the program where we draw a circle, right? And we can just type in circle, right? And then you see it comes up right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we can
click.
Yeah, we click on that. And then we can just draw a circle. And if we had a ruler here, we could measure that toilet paper roll. And it is about 1.75, 1 3/4, 1.75. So if we we'll click in the middle of the screen here, and then we'll draw a diameter. Diameter refers to the distance from here to here, right? And that's 1.75. So once you type in 1, then point, and then do 75. And then hit enter for return. Yeah, good. So you just drew a circle, look at that. And it draws it in all of our views. We've got a circle that looks like that. All right. Now, we want this circle to have some thickness. So we're going to basically draw another circle, okay? And this one we're going to draw from the center of this circle. So we'll click right here. And it'll snap to the center. And then we can give it a little thickness because that paper or that toilet paper roll has a little thickness to it, right? It's not very much, but it's a little bit, right?
I have picked this off and it's very thick because this part is surrounding it.
Yeah, it kind of wraps over, doesn't it? You can see there's a seam on it the way it's made, right? All right, so we'll just click right there, and now we have another circle, okay? So that's going to give us the thickness of our cylinder. Now, this is the cool part, okay? We're gonna basically take this, and you told me earlier that circles are like, or a cylinder is what? What'd you say it was? It's like
stacked up circles.
Stacked up circles, So if we take that one and we go to solid, extrude, and extrude means to kind of, like when you take Play-Doh and you stick it in that machine and then you push the handle down and it spits a shape out, right? Mm-hmm. That's called extruding. So we can extrude that circle. So you click on that where it says straight. Click on there where up one more. Right there. Yep. And then look at that. Look what it does. See, we can make it however long we want. Isn't that cool? And if we only want it to extrude from one side, we can click off of this and we can just extrude from one side. So if we want to, we could measure this and we could give it a distance. And this measurement of this is about 3 3/4, which would be 3.75. So you can type. Can you type in 3.75? 7. Enter. Great. So now look at that. What did we create?
A cylinder.
A cylinder, right? That's hollow on the inside, right? All right. So now that we have that, you know what we'll do? We'll take that and we're going to turn that on its side. We'll just rotate it on its side so it's laying down, kind of like that. See how it's laying down in that view? Mm-hmm. We have our original circles that we made that with. They're underneath of there. See that? Okay. Now we need some wheels, don't we? No, what shape are wheels?
Circle.
Circle. Now, do you think we should make them the same diameter as this, or smaller, or larger, or?
Larger because my last one, Mommy did them too small, and we need them to be big.
Need them to be big. Okay, so
it can roll.
Right. So we could take even this same circle, right? And we could just use the one circle right there.
And then copy it.
Well, yeah, we could copy it, but we could also, what did we do earlier? What did I call that?
A cylinder.
Yeah, I call it a cylinder, but how do we make it? Do you remember how we talked about the Play-Doh? What's it called? Extrude. Extrude, right. So we can take and we can say solid, extrude planar curve, straight. And look at that. We can make a little disc, right? Which is a cylinder again, but it's just a thin cylinder, right? Mm-hmm. And then, bingo, there's a wheel. Look at that. So that easy. We just made some wheels. Now, where do we need to put that wheel? We need to flip it, don't we? Yeah, and so if I flip it in this view right here, look at that. It's in this right orientation. We just need to move it, right? So we can move that over like so. So there's one wheel on one side, but we probably need to move that again, don't we?
Yeah, because it needs to touch the ground.
Needs to touch the ground, yeah. And it also we need how many of these?
4.
4, that's right. Now we could do 2 in the back and 1 in the front. And what would we call that? That'd be like, what do you learn how to ride? Because right now you ride a vehicle that you pedal. What's it called?
Tricycle.
Well, that was what the old one was tricycle. So yeah, 1 with 3 would be tricycle. But now you ride a bicycle. And we know that what does bicycle, what does that mean? Has
2 wheels.
And tri is like triangle. So what's that mean?
3.
3, that's right. So now we'll take this and we will, we're going to do what's called mirror. We're going to mirror this over to the other side. But before we do that, we'll make another one. So we'll just hit Control-C and Control-V, and that'll make us an extra copy. And look at that. We've already got 2 wheels there, right? So now we'll take these 2 and we'll go transform mirror, right? And we'll turn on midpoint. And then we've got another one like that. And look at that. What we just make?
A car.
A car. Now, if we're making this car, if we put our wheels really close together, do you think that's a good idea? If there's a wheel there,
if it's rolling, they would go together and it would stop.
Yeah, and so
It
we
wouldn't.
wanted them to be kind of far apart, don't we? Well, that's kind of the way we've got it right here, right? So it looks pretty good. And we can get rid of our original circles that we created, right? Now, what do you think? Does that look pretty good? Well, what do we need to do to this? Because if we 3D printed this, it would print the roll, the cylinder, and it would print these, but they're not.
Roll.
Yeah, they're not rolly. So what do we need to do to them?
Make a roll.
We need to make them roll. And how do you think we could do that? We could put some holes through them, right? And we also need something for those to roll on. We need an axle, right? Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another cylinder.
Yeah, for them to start off like we need something for them to start off and they go like that thing that we use for Noah.
Oh yeah, later on we need something to roll them down. Yeah, we can do that later, but right now we just need a way to make the wheels stick to the car, right? So we need to make an axle. So the axle is also going to be a cylinder, right? Because it'll roll. And so this time we're going to use this. Rhino has this thing where instead of drawing the shapes, right, we can like the original circle, right? We can draw a cylinder immediately, right, like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out to the, and this will help us because we want the axle to be on the center of the other. Right, and it doesn't need to be very big, right? We probably want it to be smaller. And then we can draw through, and I don't know if you can see that. See that cylinder coming through? Mm-hmm. Little cylinder. And we'll make it kind of long, like that. Right, and then we can even it up. It needs evened up. Now, what did I do there? Did I get 2 copies of one? They're not in line, are they? They're not matching up, so we need to move this over. Actually, you know what it is? I think that those original ones I made, they weren't quite in line, so I need to make, let's do this. We'll try that again. Transform, mirror, and we'll make sure we have midpoint turned on, and we'll snap to the midpoint. And now they're in line. Okay, so there's our axle sticking through, right? Look at that. How's that look? Yeah? Is that okay? Looks fast. Oh, but what else we need? We got to connect the rear ones, don't we? Right? So we can take and we'll say copy that one, and we'll copy it from the center of this. Let me turn on center again. And then we'll snap over to here. And now we have another axle. See that? Now, looks like we need to move these a little bit. See how it's sticking out of there? Mm-hmm. Don't you think? Okay, so let's take those 2 and we'll move that just in a little bit. How's it look?
Good.
Now, if we attach these wheels solidly to this cylinder, then it won't be able to roll, will it? But if we put another cylinder around this cylinder and attach it to this, it'll be able to roll inside of there. So I think we should make another cylinder. So we'll take this, and we'll take and say copy, paste, and then this one we will make a little shorter because we'll attach that to the piece, and then we will make it a little larger. Okay, and then we'll shrink it a little bit more that direction. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll copy this one. So let's copy, since we like that one, and we'll copy that one over to here. See how it snaps?
Are we gonna make a number on the car?
Ooh, I like the way you think. You think we need a number?
Mm-hmm.
Just a second, let me fix this real quick. So it's got to be right in the center, right? Okay, so now that we have that, we need to move that one over a little bit, don't we? Looks like it got shifted a little bit. There we go. Okay, so the only thing we need to do now is we need to remove material from this one because this is a solid cylinder. So we're going to do this thing where we say, let's show you what it looks like ghosted. So you can see there's a cylinder inside of a cylinder, but we need to make sure that that is different. So we'll say solid difference, and we'll take, it says what do you want to subtract from? Well, we want to subtract this from this, and we're going to use the original axles. We'll get rid of those. So now, if we were to disassemble this, you'd see that there are holes inside of this one for that to spin inside of. Okay? All right, now you said you think we need a number on there. What number do we need on there?
7.
A 7? Why 7? Because why?
It's almost my birthday.
It's almost your birthday. Oh boy.
And I'm turning 7.
And you're turning 7. Okay. All right. Well, let's take, and if you want the number 7, there's this thing called a text object. And so if you type a 7 in there, so type 7, see it show up right there on the screen, and then we can make it a solid 7. And then we can say, right now it's set to 1 inch tall. So that's about 1 inch is about that big. That's how big the 7 will be. It'd be 7 inches or 1 inch tall. Is that how big we want it? So to go on the side of there. Does that look about right? Looks about right. Go ahead and hit apply. Hit right here, right here. All right, so there is your 7. Oh, that looks really big. Look at that. Maybe we made it too big. I think we made it too big, but that's okay. We can easily take that and squish it, right? We can make that much smaller.
3D?
Yeah, it's 3D. It's a 3D 7. Look at that.
That's cool.
And it is cool, right? And then we can take and we can rotate it. So we got to think about the right way to rotate it. Let's rotate it like that. Right? And then we can take and rotate it like that. Are we putting this number on the side of the car? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's the case, this one will go on this side. Are we putting them on both sides of the car?
I don't know.
You don't know? I mean, what do you think of that right there? How's that look?
Good.
That looks good. So we can make it go into the car a little bit. Look at that. So it comes out of the car. See that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Kind
think?
of like a ghost comes out of a wall.
Yeah.
If it comes from, like, if it's going into a wall and it comes out, part of it is gonna still be in there.
That looks kind of cool. It looks like almost like Looks almost like the curvature of the wheel matches that 7. Look at that. Doesn't that look cool? All right, so should we put one on the other side then, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So last time we did that, and we just did this thing called mirror. So if we said transform and mirror, then we can mirror this over this. Let's see if we can get that straight. Look at that. Ooh, what's wrong on that side? Does that look right? No, what we need to do, we need to flip it, don't we? We need to flip it around. Now, does it look right? Yeah, look at that. I think we'll move them to the center of the car. What do you think?
Yeah.
Does it look better in the middle? Okay. Now, what else we need? Anything else? We could cut a hole in the middle of the car where you'd sit.
Yeah.
Think we should do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're missing something.
All right, so let's do that. That we could do what's called an ellipsoid. Do you know what an ellipse is? An ellipse is kind of like 2 circles put together, and then the middle cut out. So ellipsoid, we'll do it like this, and we'll do it from the top view. And you'll see what shape it is here in just a second. Look at that. You ever seen a shape like that? Looks kind of like an egg, right? Let me try that again. Let's do it over here. We'll do it right here so you can see it better.
I've seen the shape if I have seen an egg.
You know what? No, I think instead of an ellipsoid, let's do just a regular ellipse shape like that. And then we'll get that to the size we want. So how big of an opening do you think we need to be in there? So if that's sitting right over the top, let's move it up so you can see it. What do you think? Does that look about right?
Yeah.
And should it be in the middle, or because you probably want room for your engine in the front, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we have something that looks maybe like that. And then we can go solid, extrude, planar curve. Do you want to do that part? And hit straight. Yep, and then we'll make this one we're going to do both sides, so we'll make it go through the car. Okay? Like that. Now, does that look like what we want? That's kind of weird, isn't it? But, you know what we can do? We can use that as like a, kind of like a cookie cutter. And there's this thing called difference. So you say solid, difference, and it says, what do you want to subtract from? Well, we want to subtract from which shape? The big cylinder. Yeah, so click it. So click on it. And then hit enter. And then it says what do you want to use to subtract with? So if we're using a cookie, like a cookie cutter, which parts are cookie cutter?
That part.
Yeah, so click on it. And then hit enter. Look at that. What did it do?
Subtract that little part.
It did. It subtracted that part. Isn't that neat? So now, all we need to do now is we need to combine these shapes into the car, and then we can 3D print this, okay? So what we'll do is we'll go and say, which parts do we think we want to put together? We want a union. Union means to bring things together. We want a union, probably the wheels and the, what do we call that?
Axle.
Axles, yeah. So we'll click that, and that, and that, and we'll hit enter. And then we want to bring, so now when we click on that, look, they're all together, see that? And then the other parts we want to bring together are
That part. The axle.
Uh-huh.
And the other wheel.
That's right. All right. Now, Now look at that. They're all together as one shape. Okay. Now, if we wanted to bring something else together, right? Because right now this is separate from this. So do you think we should join those together? Probably so, right? So let's do solid union, and we'll connect this, 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 and our outer tubes, right, that the axles spin in, and we'll hit enter. See that? Now when you click on this, look, that's all together. So that's one object, and then that's one object, and that's one object. So we got 3 objects that we've made out of all those pieces. And that's pretty easy, right? Did that turn out better than the other one you made?
Yeah.
You happy with that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Way happier.
Way happier. Man. All right. So now that we've got that, we should be able to do some other cool things. Look at this. We can look at how it looks in different views. So check this out. If we do artistic, look at that.
Wow.
Doesn't that look cool?
Uh-huh.
All right. And if we take and we do a pin, look at that one. Looks like we drew it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool? And if we take this one and we do Arctic, look at that. Whoa, that's pretty cool,
It's
right?
like fizzy.
It's like, yeah, it looks kind of fuzzy until you stop moving it. See how it gets fuzzy and then it gets clean again?
Like when you click on it.
Now check this out. We can do something really cool. Watch this. So if we go back to the view where we were in, all right? Now we're going to do something fun here. So this one, do you know how to spell body? Body? You know how to spell body? Sound it out for me. So, okay, so it's, what's the first letter?
B.
Yeah, so you want to type B? Because I'm talking about the body of the car, so type B. O, D. And it's going to be Y. Yeah, that's it. And then we hit enter. Okay, so we just made we made a layer that's red called body. Now, this one we're going to label wheels. How do you spell wheel? You know?
W.
So type it.
E.
We got a
W. H.
Yeah. So we know the H. And then E.
E.
Yeah. And because it's a long E sound, do you think we need maybe another E? Okay, let's see that. And then wheel. And then enter. All right, great. So we just made a layer called wheel. Now check this out. We can click on the body and we can change this one to the body layer, and then it changed the color.
Wow.
And then we can click on this one, and we can make that one the wheel. Now look at that. It made a different colors. But now check this out. This is where it gets cool. So if we click on this, we can give the body a material. So what material do you want to use? You want to use a glass, metal, paint, plaster, or plastic? What do you want the car body to be made out of?
Metal.
Metal. Okay, so click on metal.
I like metal.
Now click on color, and it gives you different colors of metal. So click on right in that box. Right in that box, yeah. Okay, now which metal would you like it to be? You want it to be gold? Ooh, that'd be pretty cool. You want it to be gold? Click on gold. And then hit apply. And then apply. Okay, now let's click on this little circle next to the wheel. Yeah, click there. And let's assign a material to it. So what material do you want the wheels to be made out of? Click on this box right there. Yeah, what material you want it to be made out of? Metal as well? I mean, we could do a different metal. So you want to do metal? Okay, let's do that. And then hit the color. Hit the color. Now, do you want a different color? Do you want it to be chrome, maybe? Chrome, shiny wheels. Let's do that, chrome. And then hit apply. And then apply. Great. Now, it didn't change anything, did it? But watch this. If we go to rendered view.
Whoa.
Look at that.
That's super cool.
That's pretty neat, right? All right, so we just made a car, and eventually we could make that in metal. We could even have it 3D printed in metal.
Whoa.
What do you think? But I think for what ours, since we don't have a metal 3D printer, we'll just print it in plastic, right? Okay. All right, so we'll make another video later on about how to 3D print it, okay? But we need to save this. So we're going to hit our Command S, and we'll save it. So you want to save it with your name. So type your name. And then name it something, because we want to do Olivia. And so maybe we wanted to do Olivias, and then space, and then what are you going to call it? This is car, race car, what is it?
Car.
Car, okay. I'm going to type in car. And then enter. Okay, so we saved it. So that's the first step in us 3D printing. We had to make a computer model of it to be able to 3D print it, all right? So that's our first step. And look at that, we've got these really cool pictures, right? Look at that, it looks so fast, doesn't it? Oh, it's gonna be so cool. All right, that's our plan.
Are we gonna make the thing to make it start out?
Oh, the ramp? We could maybe save that for another day. Yeah, we could do that. Or we could stack up books. Lay the books out so that there's something for it to roll on. Okay?
Okay.
What do you think? Is that a good STEM exercise? All right. Okay. Tell everybody bye.
Bye.
Wave. See ya.